It's okay, ChanManV drank from the fountain of youth.
Oh my god. Okay, we're back here. All right, we're gonna do some sub questions, and we have an. Is it a non?
Yeah, close enough.
All right, close enough.
There's a
Cool.
chess champion who shares my name for anyone that follows that scene.
Okay.
But, so,
It's gonna be
before
bigger
I
than
ask my question,
recording a Cody.
Steven, you gotta scoot over, man. Scoot over to the right a little bit.
Oh my god, fuck you.
before I ask my question, to the ad blocking motherfuckers in chat who are like, mobile MOBA, Kappa. You understand that Twitch has been running an ad for this fucking mobile MOBA game. I think it's called Heroes of Order and Chaos, and I've seen it like 50 fucking times. Like, come on.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know what you're talking
Okay,
about,
yeah,
but I'm
I'm not sure what
excited
you're
for the
talking about
question.
either, but okay. Cool.
Okay, but to my
That's
actual
right.
question, so one of the big things I noticed about LCS is how like it absolutely shit on the amateur scene. Like if you look at LCS and what it did to the amateur scene, the only team that anyone even talks about is LMQ, and the other teams generally don't get traction. And when I look back to like League's history, because I didn't have a big understanding of esports before that, the way that a lot of the teams got big, like Dignitas got big in IPL 3 by beating a ton of named teams. Fnatic got really big by going to IPL 5, beating not beating they lost to beating TPA 2-0 two times, beating CLG, and beating all these named teams.
Sure.
And that's how these organizations got big. And I feel like the complete non-interactivity of LCS with the amateur scene outside of relegation games really hurts the amateur scene because, I mean, no one gives a shit if you beat Velocity. Like, no one gives a shit if you're like, oh man, you took EG off of LCS, now what will we do with ourselves? Other than fans of the particular players. Like, you have to be able to, like, go in and beat the TSMs, beat the CLGs, beat the, Cloud9s for everyone to give a shit about your team, or anyone to give a crap about who you are. So I was wondering, what do you think Riot could do to fix that situation? Do you think Riot should? And, just, like, off of that.
All right, who wants to take it?
Go on, Cody. You go first, brother.
I was responding to a mean tweet, man. I fucked up. One of many
Stop
fuck-
reading chat and
I
reading Twitter,
fucking
man.
warned you. I tried. This
Just
is worse than what
you
happened with
guys,
Thorin.
man.
Give me the synopsis. It was kind
They're
of
gonna kill you. They're gonna fucking
Basically,
hunt you down.
LCS killing
it's the
amateur
question,
scene.
Yeah, it's the
and-
question of,
yeah.
with
How
Riot
should they
controlling
change it?
the entire fucking tournament scene, there are
Yeah.
pros and cons. Do you think that the pros outweigh the cons of the amateur scene dying versus people, getting a secure paycheck and all that?
Or what should Riot do to maybe help promote the amateur scene?
those are so many different questions, and that actually makes it really difficult. One of the things that really helped me, like when I was thinking about like sort of the big three split last year, was sort of like try and compartmentalize like every developer like they are like sort of politicians. So Riot is the big left wing socialist group, like they just want to be involved in everything. They're in your face. They want to be really controlling with everything. Valve is the strange libertarian group, like they absolutely don't really want to be involved. You guys kind of all do your own things. And then Blizzard's the moderate that ultimately everyone ends up hating because they're not committed to anything in either way. I think Riot, like, I don't know, like I have friends that I have like pro players, if you're in the LCS, like you're pretty happy, right? If you're not in the LCS, you're tremendously unhappy, and you're frustrated because Riot's putting in all this legwork, and you're not seeing any of the help from it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to like those kind of people that just get forgotten.
Should there be a developmental league? Kind of like the NBA type of thing?
The problem is like, while I think I'm equipped to answer this question just sort of like on a political level, I don't follow League of Legends all that much. Like, I know the Coke Challenger League was supposed to be really good. And that's really all I know about it. So unfortunately, like, I mean, those are my 3 cents. Like, I think what Riot does for the professional community is actually maybe most beneficial overall, I think. But I also don't follow League of Legends all that much because it's just like not one of the games that I do follow.
Rich?
No,
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like a lot of these challenger teams kind of let themselves down a bit because it's not like Riot don't give them a spotlight during like their broadcasts. I mean, the Challenger League is broadcast at the end of LCS. They always pimp it out and always say like, stick around and watch the bullshit game. with the troll casting that no one really wants to watch. Like they do say this, right? So stick around and listen to Freak make a bunch of fucking in jokes for fucking half an hour while the game's going on. Okay, cool, I'm doing that. But you know, when you see these motherfuckers actually get interviewed, they've got all the fucking charm and charisma of a fucking skid mark. You know what I mean? Like they've got nothing to say. They're just there like, oh yeah, well we won our game, dude. Like it was totally gnarly. We won our game. Okay, so how do you feel after you won your game? Well, it was pretty gnarly. We won our game, and they're just fucking bland. You know, they have no idea about like how to fucking actually get fans hyped about their existence. You know, they just fucking literally just bore everyone to fucking tears. Yeah. And when they do get promoted, they lose a bunch of games, and it's like, who the fuck are they? I mean, like for example, you know, like Team Mon, when Team Mon got fucking promoted, everyone was pumped about them because they had personality, right? I mean, and they were serially mismanaged. They fucked everything up. The players actually weren't all that good, but they did amusing things. Like during one qualifier, I always talk about this. I think it's amazing. Every time they got a kill, they all jumped up and screamed, "Get fucked!" Right? They screamed at everyone, "Get fucked!" Right? Get fucked. Right. So Riot had to come along and said, "Can you change it? Right? Can you stop doing that? Because it's not cool." So then they started jumping up and shouting, "Get Marned!" Right, and that's what they changed it to. They censored it. It was really funny. Those guys were cool. I mean, it was, you know, again, horrendously mismanaged, and you know, they were always a one-split team, if you get me. But that was just how it went down. Like, you know, if you've got an awareness of how to build your brand, it doesn't matter whether you beat the big teams. People will support you. People love an underdog.
But are there enough venues for them to even be showcased, you know, outside
I think so. I think it's getting better. I think Riot have identified that there is a problem. And you know me, I love to fucking bash on Riot, that crazy fucking weird cult, right? I love to bash on it, but actually one of the things, wow. Of course it's a cult. They're all fucking crazy. So, you know, so I love to bash on them, but one of the things they've done well is expanding the amateur scene. I mean, Coca-Cola fucking sponsors the amateur scene. I mean, that's a big deal. That's like, you know, that they really care about it. I think they've done as much as they can to synergize the kind of shit teams playing each other for like a chance at being an LCS, and they've tacked it on at the end of the broadcast, and you know, you're encouraged to view it. I think that's a huge step, and I think when these teams do get promoted, they do those horrible like little glib like, oh, one of them like lost a fingernail when he did the washing up for the first time ever in his like overprivileged middle class white background, and they do like a tearful thing. If it wasn't for League of Legends, my fingernail would never have grown back, man. And they do those little crap videos, right? Like CGS used to do. Like, I was bullied at school, but now I'm a pro gamer. You know, like just all that nauseating bullshit. Riot do that. They're given a platform to promote themselves. It's just, I don't know, they don't grip the opportunity with both hands, man. They're just.
I mean,
That's how I feel about it.
I think the truth of the matter is that there's still a lot to be figured out, even at the highest levels, to make, you know, this whole esports thing succeed. So, you know, I think a lot of the planning, a lot of the brain power right now, I think it's still being, you know, being used there on a lot of these organizations. But yeah, I think it's still important though. The whole grassroots thing and the whole just development, you know, the amateur scene, or even the semi-pro scene, you know, something that actually kind of filters into the actual pro scene is still needed, and it's true for everything. It's true for StarCraft too, also, right? Yeah, we get an open tournament here and there, but for the most part, you're pretty screwed if you're not one of the top players.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because you know, okay, it certainly helps if you're in a fucking TSM or a CLG, right? But like the mid-tier organizations like Curse, I mean, like Curse continually flirt with relegation. I don't think they're a particularly strong team. They've got massive deficiencies, and they need to tweak it. But Voyboy is a huge draw as a personality. Why is that? Because he's super nice. I mean,
we're not talking about a Curse. We're talking about like a complete no-name team trying to be able to break into the scene. You know.
Okay, so well, let's look at teams that have got promoted, and you know, like, okay, take when Complexity were in there. I mean, people loved the players in that team, you know, particularly Louder Mortis. You know, like, he'd be doing streams late on a night with suspiciously looking red eyes, if you get what I mean. Okay, and he'd be laughing his ass off and playing games, and everyone knew what was going on. And you know, he was a cool dude, and he got a lot of fucking props and was considered a great jungler and got a lot of spotlight. And the team ultimately failed and dropped out the league. And people are still like, "Hey, where's Louder Mortis?" They still talk about him because he's an awesome dude. I definitely think there's opportunities there. I think your personality can really shine through. One way or the other with the League of Legends. And I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, Riot suppress anything that's kind of like a little bit out of their feel of like what they want their game to be represented. They definitely control the narrative,
Yeah.
like Cody was saying. But I think there's opportunities there for these new and upcoming teams to make a name for themselves, whether they're in the league or not.
All right, Non. Thanks for your question, buddy.
All
We're
right.
gonna get to
Thank you
another
very
call.
much.
Yep.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
Let's get to another call. That wasn't so bad, right? Right, Richard?
That was
Nah,
good.
you know me. I just hate the fucking public, man. They're just losers.
Just embrace them. Love them. Max, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to Unfiltered. You got a question for us?
Yeah, I've got a question for Richard. Earlier on the show, you were talking about how the community is as big a problem as the Reddit creators.
Uh-oh.
1 minute, I'll just close the stream. Yeah, and I was thinking that esports is one of the only industries that I know of that actively says that the community should change rather than the content producers. When we look at things like the music industry and when piracy was a really big problem in that, people didn't stop pirating just because people said it was a problem. It was only when companies like Spotify and came along they actually changed. And they're the people who gained from it. Do you really think that it's healthy for the esports industry to put the blame on the consumers? Or do you think
Yeah, go on. I know where you're going with this. Okay, so I think you've made a good point, by the way. Okay, so that's a good place to start. But I think when we're talking about things like fucking music piracy, and we're talking about things like refusal to support content, like it's not quite the same thing. I don't think it's as direct a comparison as what we're talking about. I think if we were in a industry that was so small and hadn't reached the heights of like the music industry, and people were, superstars in the music field were reliant on their fans effectively pimping and promoting and spreading by word of mouth their music, I think you'd have a point. But unfortunately, kind of what we've got is the situation where even the top of esports are like some garage band. Okay, we're like the garage band that's coming up, that's still playing pubs, and clubs, and we're just desperately hoping to even get like an A&R guy at one of our gigs. That's like, we need the community to do the right thing by us. Like, I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're not at the stage where like we can just literally put something out and this huge industry that gets rich on our efforts is going to promote our stuff so it reaches the fans. We need the fans to be proactive and encourage sharing our content with other fans and saying, hey, that guy over there, he did a good video, because like I say, we are that fucking garage band. We need people to buy our demo tapes. I mean, like everyone in esports is like effectively having a fucking, we're all living hand to mouth for the most part. Like, people are out there, and it's like your money directly correlates to your success. Your money directly correlates to your popularity. So when people don't spread the word and don't even give people the opportunity to make a value assessment about whether you should be popular or whether your work is good, that's actually harmful. Now, I agree. I think there's loads of things we do. Like, maybe this seems contradictory, but I've sat on this very show and talked about how I think ad block is a consumer right. And Destiny, he fucking hates it. I can hear the bile building, and I get it. And ChanManV too, probably, right? Because like, I'm effectively saying you've got the right to enjoy their content and make sure they don't get a fucking bean for doing so. I think it's a tricky issue, and I do think content creators need to be more mindful about how they make money. But ultimately, the first step has got to be the community recognizing the effort that goes into producing a bit of content and just sharing the content. I'm not asking you to pay me anything. I'm not asking you to, fucking say it's good. I'm literally just asking you to just say, okay, this guy took some time over this. I'm going to share it with this bunch of people over here and see what they think.
Or I'm going to watch an advertisement.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yes.
But
yes.
I'm not even necessarily going to go down into the ad block route. But I definitely think the community don't recognize. Like, I don't want to get fucking jerked off every time I write an article. I don't want a bunch of fucking idiots whose opinion, fluctuates wildly based on the content of an article. Like, it can be, oh, he said something I agree with, this guy the mating, or now he said something I disagree with, I hope he dies of cancer. Like, I don't care about the critique of that community a whole lot. Right, and unfortunately, that's what we're all dealing with in esports. But what I do care about is at least do the right thing. And if you don't like a piece of content, still fucking, share it. Or if you like a piece of content, share it. And then if someone says they don't like it, maybe we can get a dialogue going on. But it can't just be this whole thing like, what we deal with is if you annoy somebody once, like whole swathes of the community just fucking, look what's happened on the show tonight. Cody Connors makes a fucking relatively throwaway content about Dota. Yeah, you ain't gonna work in this town no more, Cody. You've got an entire subreddit that are gonna fucking, they will carve their names into your fucking forehead and murder your kids. Like that's how they're going to operate, right? Like because of something you've said, and hopefully they'll forget about it. But if they don't, if you had to promote Dota 2 content, you would now be fucked, right? So I think the community really needs to kind of accept that they've got a responsibility as well.
Yeah. All right.
I think. Just real fast.
Okay.
Max, you're a trillion percent right. To go along with the ad block thing, like I said in the past, like these are my thoughts on ad block, but I don't complain about it ever on my stream. Like I never talk about it because it's a pointless argument. And what you're saying and what you're saying about people complaining about the community is never going to ever change. It's never going to fucking happen. It doesn't work that way. Basically, the way it works is whoever can figure out how best to manipulate / utilize, however communities function, those are the people that make the money. I mean, I'm not sure how serious Richard is in terms of wanting the community to change. I'm sure he wants the community to change. And like, I would want the community to change too. But you're never, ever going to be successful by doing a certain thing and hoping that an entire community will come around to your way of thinking. The money always goes to the people who figure out how best to kind of maneuver themselves in the way that a community functions versus people that kind of sit around and hope that the community will change,
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion.
All right, Max, thanks for your call, man.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks for
cheers,
having me on.
Yep.
See you.
All right, we got Ryan. Gameheart Ryan.
Oh, I remember this guy.
I hope so.
Howdy.
What's
Howdy.
up,
Yeah,
Ryan?
you raised a lot of money for him.
Exactly. Ryan, what's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. This is Creator Gameheart, guys. Got a question for us?
Yeah, I was going to ask about Hearthstone, or not Hearthstone. I'm sorry, Heroes of the Storm, because we've seen it now. It's in people's hands. What do you guys think the potential is for this to break into esports to compete with maybe some of the other MOBAs? And also, how do you think it might affect WCS?
I don't. I'm gonna pony up. Yeah,
Okay,
I
go
think
for it.
I think at launch one of the big issues is they put it in the hands of so few people that it actually really hurt. So a lot of the pro gamers got the games very initially, like Blizzard supporters, like people that could be sort of overtly identified as like Blizzard supporters got the game. But one of the problems was it wasn't like distributed widely enough. Like I remember watching last night, and again, Twitch TV is the Bible. So like I clicked on the Heroes of the Storm, and like in the first row, you could be the top 5 you could be the 5th most viewed Hearthstone streamer with 22 viewers. I think the problem is they didn't give it to enough people, and I think that might change with open beta. But like actually, people want to watch people that can aspire to be. So
Well, they're still releasing it. Like there's just a wave that went out like this past Friday. So.
I mean, they did the same thing with Hearthstone, didn't
Yeah.
they? And
but
that
I
was
feel
a
like
huge
there was
success.
but I feel like there was a difference. Like Hearthstone,
Hearthstone was the first of its
sort of-
kind, kind of thing. Like it's the first video game CCG type of thing.
Also, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's also I think a really big competitive advantage for Hearthstone. Like it is the first mainstream competitive
Yeah.
video game TCG, while Heroes of the Storm has to compete with League of Legends and Dota, even though it's the hero brawler. I think is the jargon they use internally and insists on using when they tweet. But yeah, it sort of depends. Like, what are the numbers? Like Destiny, what was the biggest concurrent number you ever got with Hearthstone?
Heroes of the Storm.
Uh,
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm? I'm sorry.
I
Too many
want to
HSs.
say
We brought this
four
up.
or 5,000. It wasn't
That was the
anything.
first
huge.
night too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we brought this up last time, and Steven, you were the first person to say, don't even read anything into the numbers. Like right now, it's just a freaking alpha. So
I was the first person to say that. No, I think I agreed with you when you said it. But I mean, like, yeah, it is an alpha right now. I think it has the potential to be big. I mean, it doesn't feel like Dota and it doesn't feel like League. I personally don't enjoy it, but that's because I'm a hyper competitive person. I'm very fucking competitive, and that's not the norm for people. I think that like for somebody to just pick up the game and have a fun game with friends, I think it's much easier to do in Heroes than it even is in League of Legends. I think just because of how the levels are shared, there's no last hitting. Like, it's super accessible. You can jump into it. You can have fun with the talents. You can pick your heroes. And all the heroes are easily identifiable characters from Blizzard games that a lot of people already like. So, I mean, like, I think it has the potential to be, like, relatively popular. Will it surpass
IP
League of
matters.
Legends?
I think
Yeah, that's what I meant when I say like people can identify the characters. Yeah, like all of the IPs that are represented in the game are nice.
Yeah, but that only lasts so long. I mean,
Total Biscuit said he's in chat. He said that he did. I think this is what I'm inferring. It's like tough because I feel like he was answering a question that we were asking. He said he did 29K, but he noted that it's not the big Gold Rush game that people thought. Like, I think a lot of people were hoping like just like lean on this really.
But that's still not going to mean it isn't going to artificially get this big push, right? Because every fucking washout in StarCraft is going to do like what they did with the Hearthstone thing, right? So anyone who's like, can't be asked to play a hard game now is just going to go across to this and try and push it and pimp it and use the combination of their status plus the push it's going to get from Blizzard plus the fact it's a new game and people are going to be curious about it to try and ultimately elevate it above something. But I mean, we're into that territory now where people are going to like really, really try and push it and just of them being the only guys promoting that particular game and the fact they've already known and they've got their own fan base. Bada bing. It's going to get super popular.
It's still an alpha, but I just think that there's a fundamental problem with it right now. And Steven, I know you agree with me here. It's just that it's very hard it's very hard to have individualism in that game. Like,
well, let me clarify, because I'm always careful to clarify this when I say it. That's a bad thing for me personally, but I know, like, my head is not so far up my own ass that I think that my personal gaming experience is representative of everybody's. I think that the lack of individualized thing, I think that's a good thing. Me personally, I fucking hate that, because I play games because I like to be competitive. Like, that's everything for me. But if you're just playing with, like, 4 friends, and you guys just want to hop on and play, like, a game or whatever, it's not like League where you can point to something like, oh, God, like, you fucking fed terribly, or, God, you got out CS so hard by the enemy. Like, people can't really give you as much shit, because it's a fucking team game. You've all got the same level. There's not going to be just one dude fucking feeding all the time, or if it is, it's harder to tell. Everybody gets in on kills. There's not just one guy fucking hyper carrying your team. Like, I think it's a way more social, kind, awesome, like, fun experience for friends than I think. What basically what I'm saying is that what you identify as a fundamental problem is actually a good thing to most people. I think. Maybe not
to
maybe
the casual
not
game. The casual thing that you're talking about. Sure. To the esports, I think it's bad.
Esports is built on casual fan bases, though. That's an absolute fact, and that has to be recognized.
Esports is based on like marketing people, like these players really showcasing it in the standpoint of a production. I mean,
it's interesting.
Hearthstone has 30 card decks and RNG involved, and like that game is really popular. So I mean, sorry, okay.
Come on. I mean, it's like a one-on-one thing. And when we're talking about League, can you imagine if you're watching TSM and you grade out all their names? I mean, like, that's not the same. It's like, and that's essentially kind of what you're kind of doing when you're just trying to make this completely team-based game, which, Ryan, I know you're a fan of, because we talked about this with Pure CTF a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm just more of an advocate of being able to, like, if you have a superstar, they should be, it should show in some way.
Well, everybody, I mean, the original plan for Pure CTF even was that you would be able to customize your own dude a little bit, but then when we started playing it, I realized that kind of hurt the simplicity of it and the ability for people to just jump in and play, so I got rid of that. But I mean, I enjoy that type of thing as well. I haven't played much of Heroes of the Storm yet, but I thought it was pretty interesting to see it had this surge of popularity when it started showing up because it was a fresh new thing.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking about the fact that I remember a couple of years ago, Blizzard said something about that they were ready to support Blizzard All-Stars, I think it was at the time, as an esport. And I don't know if that's changed in the past couple of years, but we know that they have a lot more infrastructure for supporting something like that now with WCS. And so I was just curious if you guys had an impression as to what their plans were or what you thought might happen with it. But
Heroes of the Storm has less viewers than Warcraft 3.
Final Fantasy 7.
I mean, you have to wait until it launches to really.
Yeah, it's not really fair.
Well, that's why it's been a flop. That's why it's been a flop on the stream level. It's like people watch streams that, like, you guys, for better or worse, like the folks like Destiny, like, you become these like weird de facto idols that, like, you watch because you want to be better, or you watch because there's something to emulate. And that just isn't there because it's so limited right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be impressed, right?
I had an interview with Chris Siggety at BlizzCon where they were very deliberate in not calling the game an esport, which is also kind of interesting. And I've never played it, so I just don't know. One of the interesting things, though, is that Kim Fan at the StarCraft panel at Blizzard said that one of the most interesting things, and one of the things they really wanted to showcase with StarCraft, was like this idea of discernible skill.
Mm-hmm.
They want it to be very easy for the consumer. And StarCraft is one of those weird sports where, like, a lot of, I think, proportionally to other games, I think if the numbers I've read were correct, more people watch StarCraft that don't play StarCraft.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, in
So.
comparison to other games, and one of the big draws is they want there to be like it's very easy to discern when someone is better than not. And but with Heroes, so you don't have to have congruent design philosophies across all of your games. So one of the things with Heroes is like everyone levels up at the same time. You get shared experience, so it's just a whole different beast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like they should just completely you go back to like gold and like a shop and items and stuff. I mean, I
Yeah.
just think they could maybe they do add elasting back.
It's just
in
different.
some way. And
It is different design philosophy, but it should be important to note, not to sound like a fucking dick, but the design philosophy of StarCraft 2 was an absolute fucking failure. Like, even what we see today is very far removed from when StarCraft launched. StarCraft 2 launched as literally, this is fucking esports. You log on and it's like fucking ladder, like, and that was it. There was no arcade, there were no custom games, like fucking play ladders, no chat rooms. No, not even a fucking chat room. It was like, get the fuck online and play fucking ladder. You're gonna be J-Dog. And oh my god, that shut so many people out of the game fucking instantly. Like, there's no custom. I can't play my sunken defense. I can't play 2v2v2v2 fast as possible. Free beer, fucking all this shit. Like, it's all gone. Like, it's just super fucking hyper competitive. That design philosophy with StarCraft 2 was an absolute fucking failure because your fan base for watching games is always going to come from the people that play the game. StarCraft guys always like to point out, like what Cody said, a lot of people watch StarCraft, but they don't necessarily play it. I mean, yeah, that's nice, and to some extent that is true, but if you have even more players, it just gives you more people to draw a viewer base from, Like, look at League of Legends, like, even though a larger percentage of StarCraft fans watch StarCraft than percentage of League of Legends players watch League of Legends, it still dominates the views because they have so many fucking people that play the game, So I could totally understand Blizzard, and if anything, I think it's a credit to them, as much as I don't like it personally, I think it's a credit to them that they look at games like Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, and they go, you know what, people don't want this hyper competitive, like fucking slam your ball sack into your opponent's face every opportunity you get, kind of arena. They want more of like a casual, like, let's play and have fun and blah blah blah. And that's kind of the route that they're taking with Heroes of the Storm, which I think is probably better overall for the health of that game or the scene that'll develop around it versus the hyper competitive approach.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like, I make those comments based on just the esports question. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think making a casual game is going to be great for popularity and maybe even bridging some folks over to the more hardcore-ish games like Dota 2 and MOBA games, right? But as a esports itself, I think it's still lacking. They did something amazing design-wise with the whole objective thing in the different maps and different objectives. That like gives them the breadth to make like enormous amount of maps, enormous amount of like goals and that sort of thing within the maps that none of the other MOBAs have. But it's just like this one little thing I just feel like needs a tweak.
I think that's something that's particularly interesting that you just brought up because, and people be like, oh, game heart guy and this, but it's this thing that makes, StarCraft great for me is the ability to go in and improve it. Like I'm gonna make a better spectator interface. I'm gonna create tools that make watching this game better. But if you start to, if they're gonna put those kinds of tools into Heroes of the Storm, which is built in, it's the same. They build it using the same tools they use to make StarCraft 2. So I believe that they're going to give us that kind of opportunity to change it. Will we be able to create our own maps with their own kind of custom objectives? Will we be able to create a better spectator experience? How much are we going to be able to change that game? And will it be like the first opportunity we have as a community to really start to shape the growth of an esport based on the way it's played because of our ability to customize it as a game? I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But even if it's just purely internally, I feel like they just they give themselves a lot more room to create even more complexity to the game itself, and it's good for the growth of it over time. Because right now it's like we've talked about ad nauseum about the maps and how stale it is because of it. All right, Ryan, thanks, man.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, see you, Ryan, brother.
Cheers, bud.
See you.
I have a joke with that Abisi, and he's actually probably not going to like that I share this, but like, I'm joking that this year it actually has the potential for the Blizzard Triathlon, right? Because so many of their new titles are so fresh, and a lot of people dance between what games they play most, and then that BlizzCon is actually going to be like it. You can't just play StarCraft; you got to play all three games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
exactly.
think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, why don't we go into some Reddit questions? Because
about time you started looking after your Reddit followers, Chris. Quite
know.
frankly,
Exactly.
I'm really disappointed.
So I'm going to be going by by the most upvoted
was your submission
questions,
ratio
too.
good? Was your submission ratio
My
good?
submission ratio, yeah. I mean, I think I might have done my 9 in for the day today.
Good.
Okay, let's see. Let's take a look. The top upvoted is a meme, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm such a liar. I know.
The most
I know.
common question is, who is Cody Connors?
Who the fuck is Cody Connors?
I think that's
With
a
an
good
O.
question.
Who the fuck is Cody Connors with an O? I don't know.
So
Don't answer it, jeez.
I'm gonna answer it, man. 'Cause actually, a lot of people don't know. I used to work for a really, really small, terrible team called Six Jacks with Artosis, and then I worked at IPL, and then I worked at EG, and then I worked at On Gamers. There we go. The abridged version.
There
Okay,
you go.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how full of himself is Alex Garfield?
Oh,
dude,
boy.
this is actually gonna blow your mind. Alex Garfield's gonna be the best man at my wedding, and
Get off this fucking show, you piece of shit. No, actually, I heard he's got a degree in wedding studies, so it's going to be really good.
Oh, shit.
Dude, I
Best
love
man
Alex.
studies.
I love Alex, man. I love Alex. He's I could certainly understand why you might not love Alex, but I really like Alex.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I mean, like, Christ, I haven't had a human interaction with him in so fucking long. I don't even, you know, you may as well
Human
be talking
interaction.
about
What kind of interaction have you had with him then?
non-human ones. You know,
Okay.
we may as well be talking about fucking Santa Claus, right? So, you know.
Is he real?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even.
Is Alex Garfield real anymore? Who knows, man?
So anyway, congrats on getting married as well.
Yeah.
If Alex is going to be the best man at your wedding, I'll be the best man at your divorce, brother. I'll be there.
Oh my god, you're such a dick, dude.
No, I am a dick.
Destiny.
I'm just kidding. You won't get divorced. Marriages last forever. It's great.
Explosion 29th. He asked, "Have you made up your mind about streaming schedule thingy? Would you mind elaborating more?"
Oh, what? That's just like my personal stream schedule stuff.
Yeah. Are you going to be on a schedule or not? Because I saw that post.
I don't know. I have a really hard time maintaining a sleep schedule. It's
Fuck
fucking
it, who
impossible
cares,
for me,
man?
dude.
Like, does it matter a lot with your streaming numbers if it's?
Well, you
completely
should be
scheduled?
on a schedule so people know when to find you. And because if I stream late, then my Eurobros never get to watch. But I might just try a fuck it approach this week and just do what my body wants and just stay up all night and just sleep during the day. See what happens.
It'd be like that moving target, man. It'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe.
Be good. ChanManV, are you going to do anything special on the 50th episode of Unfiltered Drunk? ChanMan, please.
Uh-oh.
I don't think we're going to do anything particularly special with the episode, but I do have, the nice username, the guy making a crazy collage of unfiltered stuff for the 50th episode. You know, the guy that does all the highlights that you love, and now it's called Remix. So he's doing something for that, for the 50th. But as for Drunk Unfiltered, I don't think we'll be doing a Drunk Unfiltered.
I can't take any more drunk unfiltered. Like,
It might have
My
to be an
life's-
end of the year type of
my
stay of the
lifespan's
game
been
like
shortened by about 20 years.
Drunk
doing
Filter's Drunk Filter's not even special anymore for Richard. It's like everywhere.
it. I know.
Fuck's
Exactly.
typing, man. So damn loud.
Wow, yeah, someone is typing really loud. Like,
Steven.
is that...
Oh, sorry. Fuck, that was me.
No, I
It's
thought
those
it was
Phoenix
Alex
keyboards,
Garfield's
man.
lawyers. or
Phoenix
something.
keyboards. For ChanMan.
Alex Garfield resents being compared to Santa Claus. You are on a Christmas blacklist.
All right, Existential asks for ChanMan, what do you foreshadow will happen to Hearthstone and DreamHack Bucharest in terms of viewership, entertainment value for the live audience, or anything else you could think of? I think it'll get a ton of viewers. I think, you know, as long as I'm sure the audience will be knowledgeable in Hearthstone, so it should be pretty great too. I expect it to be the biggest or the most viewed event to date. What do you think, Cody?
I think it'll be the most viewed event too. I think
Yeah.
one of the things that people are going to have to like come to terms with though is like with the format. I think a lot of your heroes are going to be felt pretty quickly.
It's a tough gauntlet for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good players going, and then I mean like it's just a TCG. Like you sometimes take games off really great players.
Savit's kicked ass this weekend. Though.
Yeah, he did. He did work. That's one of the things
Yeah.
that like really I think reassured me that like Hearthstone really has like a competitive spirit in it. Like when you can consistently see someone like Savitz just perform at that level. I think you're going to see a lot of Hunter decks. I think a lot of Hunter and Control Warrior. I think people will be playing Hunter, and then when they lose, they're going to play Control Warrior. But it's really good. But that's actually not part of the DreamHack Open. That's interesting. It's
it's a separate thing.
yeah. I've heard
So
rumors
what is it going
though
to be?
that
Like,
a
what
lot of
stream
leagues
is it
are
going to be
gonna.
on? What stream is it going to be on then? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think a lot of the leagues, I've heard a lot of the leagues really want to consider it. Again, like, God, fucking, I'm still suffering for this Dota thing.
Don't read it, Jesus, man. You guys, I swear, you guys read shit during the show. Stop
the mobile
doing that.
market is just so sick. You guys have no idea. There are a lot of companies like MLG, like Twitch. I mean, like there's just these leagues with great sales teams, teams with great sales teams that just want to sink their teeth into the mobile market. So the reason Android is so big is like it becomes like companies like Samsung or HTC, companies besides Apple. I don't think Apple
You can still sell to advertisers though. Like if you're just talking about mobile advertising, it doesn't. I don't know.
No, but I'm talking about like leagues wanting sponsors from like things like
like
Sony.
I see what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think that's why it's going to be.
I mean, Samsung's already in the space. You know what I mean? Like so a lot of
they are,
things,
but I think like they've been elusive in the Western market. Like Samsung goes big in Korea because they're just big in Korea.
Yeah, HTC. I could say HTC and Motorola's and the kind of guys like that, right?
So I think it'll be good. I think this and like it's the first DreamHack Open event of the year, so I think they're really excited to show off what they can do.
Yeah.
This will be Mike's first event where he works for DreamHack, and he's a little tryhard. So I'm excited to see that what they do with StarCraft. They also have a 4-team invitational with Dota.
I'm not sure.
They do. Yeah. So.
Okay, great.
It'll be
cool.
Sick.
It will be sick. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be this weekend, guys. So check that out. For Destiny, will you give Hearthstone a try when it becomes successful in its popular esport?
Maybe.
Let's see.
Is there a ladder in Hearthstone?
Yeah, there's a ladder. In fact, the ladder restarts every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure that's a good or bad thing yet, but anyways, like based on your ranking for the ladder after every month, you'll be invited to the World Champion or the BlizzCon Championship, the Grandmaster event.
No, it's fucked up. They actually released it. Like I'm still trying to figure it out. Top 16 from every ladder season gets invited to a qualifying tournament as well as unnamed.
Leading up to the championship, right?
Yeah. So you have to play a big qualifying tournament. It actually is a little reminiscent of WoW. Cool thing is, I always do well in NASL, or NESLs rather. So see you boys at BlizzCon. But I think it's gonna be.
Nice.
I think it's gonna be a big deal at BlizzCon. I really, truly think that game has a lot of.
It was already a big deal at this year at BlizzCon. It was like a total
100K.
Yeah, it's like a 8-man invitational, and the crowd was rocking. Actually, it's like 8,000 people probably watching it. It was pretty crazy. All right. Let's see. Linksarn asks, James Too Good Harding just said on his stream that Reborn is making progress, that guns are currently being added. Do you think this project will reach the finish line, and would you play it if it does? What are your expectations of the game, and what guns would you like to see in game? BFG, bitch. That would be good.
Of what game?
Of Reborn. You know that game? Too Good's game.
Oh, I don't know. I'm still waiting for StarCraft Ghost.
StarCraft Ghost?
Yeah, StarCraft Ghost.
That was canceled. That was canceled.
Yeah, that was canceled.
Yeah,
Dog, it's coming. Shut the fuck up. You guys said
what are you talking about?
You're gonna be waiting a long time, man. Seriously.
Sorry, matey. Sorry. I think it's. I don't know. I'd play it if it was out for sure. What guns would I like to see? The basics like railgun, rocket launcher.
It's gotta have a railgun at least.
Grenade launcher. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a weird. Yeah, I got super fucking baited. I shouldn't have.
Okay. So
it was Total Biscuit actually in the chat, man. Like they clued me off.
You guys are baited just,
hard.
I don't know why.
I didn't know. I was like, yeah, why not, man?
Okay, so NFX Jehudi as Destiny, do you know what MLG production is going to be like? Are we having the classic 2010 and 2013 style? Do you have any influence in the upcoming MLG Anaheim?
They haven't released too many specifics yet, so I think they're still receptive to our feedback. So we'll know when we get closer to the actual date.
Okay, cool. I gotta ask Richard one here. Where's one for Richard? I see a good one here. Pig Baby fan Richard on the Good Show at a BCN Too Good seemed to think you had joined GEM. Was this just a joke?
Yeah. So. Right, okay, because I just never lied to the Unfiltered audience, because there's no fucking point. The 50% of them that are smart and understand what I'm talking about are cool, and the other 50% are fucking complete retards. So you know what you're gonna do. Okay, yeah, so basically, after the Sapinda article, I got talking to Tumba over at Gem. And we know each other. We've had intimations about maybe signing with that, management group before because, like, journalists sort of aren't very well represented in the esports space. We have to kind of carve out our own opportunities by doing things like gaming Reddit or attaching ourselves to popular players like Destiny and just basically bottom feeding off his success. So it's,
Jeez.
it's it's the game. So yeah, we got talking, and basically I was like, you know what, like my ego is so colossal. I believe that I deserve an agent of some sort, and I'd love to make all sorts of diva-ish demands to people and to get extra work. And I did say on this very show, I think it was the start of the year, I was gonna sell the fuck out first opportunity I got. Like, serious. Like, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've had more principles than anyone in the fucking industry. I'm entitled to get fucking paid and carve out some opportunities for myself now before I get the fuck out. So yeah, I signed with them. Hopefully it's going to give me a platform to be like streaming regularly myself and doing shows, crush all of Chris's shows into the ground, because he'll become a rival content creator and,
You'll still be unfiltered, though, right?
Oh, well, you need to talk to my agent, motherfucker. So basically, yeah, I sold the fuck out. I'll be the only guy who admits to fucking selling out in this industry.
Sold out twice, bud. So good for you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Well, why don't we all have a Sellouts Anonymous meeting right now? Okay. Well, I'm Richard Lewis. I've been fucking doing this for way too fucking long. Made no fucking money. It's destroyed all of my relationships. It's poisoned my view on life. It's poisoned my view on people. And now I just want to get fucking paid just once, just so I can say it wasn't a complete waste of time.
You deserve it, but I got a completely fucked question. So it's a roundtable question. So I included the Gem client list. And the way these things work, I'm going to pull some EG knowledge.
Okay.
You list them in order of importance. You always list your clients and sponsor in order of importance. So Chris posted in the channel. So this is a roundtable.
I'm not even on the fucking.
You're not there. You're not there yet because like you were being low key. Post it. Chris, post it.
I just did. I did. I posted the chat. I did it. I'll do it again.
Where do you think you go? Like, if Big Tumba adds you right now, where do you think you fall? Because I'll tell you where I think you fall.
Right.
Wait. So you're saying the listing on this page itself is kind of dictates the ranking of?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
100%. It's how it works.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Trump above Scarlet.
I'll start. Dude, he's fucking Razor Player of the Year. Come on. I'll tell you where I think.
I should be above any player to begin with because I've got actual transferable skills that could be used in the real world, whereas players are just living in a state of arrested development, pretending that they're important.
That's what I thought.
Dude, this can't be right.
Cool.
Ecomp's above Nest T, dude. Come on. And White Raw, dude.
Look at how
Are you serious?
No,
you gotta be kidding.
No.
Okay.
I think they really value Hearthstone. They're doubling down on Azubu.
News of my joining has made the website.
Asana should be above Ecop, even if they are valuing Hearthstone.
Yeah, I think you are. We got to just do it as guys. You got to believe me. Like, look at it. It seems like it relatively sort of all makes sense.
Can you copy paste it in the Skype chat so I can see it?
Yeah,
the website's gone down. You killed it.
Civ HD is unrealistically high. That's what's blowing my mind right now. That actually might blow the whole theory out of the water.
I know, Civ HD is not that high. Come on.
You're between
Civ HD, like, really?
You're between Mike Ross and Last Shadow is where I
before.
Oh!
Wow, motherfucker!
Oh, that's good, dude. That's
because
good.
I made that divorce.
Do you know those other guys though?
No.
Cody, do you know those other guys?
Mike Ross is a big fucking deal.
Right.
Mike Ross is a big fucking deal.
Mike Ross is a big deal in the
He's a huge
FCC.
deal.
Just
But
before
Last Shadow is not a big
Can
deal.
I just consult my contract and see if I'm allowed to flame other people that I'm signed with? Just give me. I'm just gonna bring it up. So, I gotta check the small print on this one. Last thing I want to do is put an extension on Tumba's house because I couldn't keep my mouth shut.
Oh, Lucifer's pretty amazing, right?
Lucifer is pretty.
I can barely hear you, Cody.
Lucifer is pretty okay. I think it gets tough, but I also mix a lot of these other people around. But Mike Ross is kind of a G. Like, the fighting game community really loves him.
He should be higher, though. I mean, you could make a claim that he should be higher. But
I'm nearly there. Sorry, I really gotta go through this. Okay, so Because, all right, okay, criticize, strategy, marketing, deals, name and likeness rights. I mean, that's the thing. I've actually signed away rights to my name and likeness, which I find hilarious that anyone would want to use this likeness, like to
Wait, you
advertise.
really did?
Yeah. I haven't got
What the fuck?
Yeah.
my name ain't worth shit, and B, my likeness definitely ain't. Like, not unless you were advertising the next Stalker game, and I was like some fucking Chernobyl thing going on.
Oh man.
Uh,
Say some world news website run some fucking bullshit article about esports and somehow your broken promises or some shit gets drafted as the #1 article and all of a sudden your name is worth like fucking 6 figures. It's just like a brand and now you have absolutely no ownership of it. Why would you sign away your rights and likeness?
dude, this is fucking esports. Like, I ain't gonna be doing this in fucking another 4 years. Like,
You didn't
seriously.
sign it away like that. He's just working for you, right?
Right? So,
What is Civ HD up to, man?
Right, okay. Whoa,
It's
whoa.
not like he's
I
joining a
put you-
team,
I-
Steve.
I
I put you above Civ
signing
HD.
on
dog.
agency.
There was nothing in there about criticizing people on the things. Civ HD fucking sucks, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know what his fucking story is. I look at his content. I what, like, you, because you're dressed up as a fucking rabbit or something on your stream. I'm supposed to think you're like super fucking cool. You walk around. I mean, again, and when we talk about the excess V-neck thing going on, like, holy shit, this guy, like, someone get him a wardrobe, right? Like, not only that, like, I find his content to be completely fucking banal. I don't understand the fucking,
His
the sense of
details
humor.
doesn't
I don't think he's
work.
got anything particular to say. I do not get him as a content creator, like, at all. Like, I would never watch one of his videos. If he stopped making videos tomorrow, esports would be a much fucking better place for me. So hopefully I'm above him, but I'm probably not, because people will watch any old fucking shit, right? I mean, seriously.
It's pretty amazing he's above like CLG.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, that's fucking crazy.
you got to leverage.
I don't-
they're leveraging social media though. That's like one of the.
They haven't really fucking. I mean, that's not the order of importance, because CLG is like a massive draw, man. Like, CLG is like the real fucking deal.
I know, Tumba, and I've been with enough companies to know that these lists aren't made arbitrarily, man. Like,
I mean, if you were listing EG, I mean, you were doing EG side. I mean, that's how you would do, right?
yeah, I'm gonna.
What are you typing?
It's typed, dude. It's typed. I can't say.
Why can't you? What?
It's.
Why can't you say that?
It's filtered.
Why can't you
man.
say
It's
that?
filtered. It's fucked
Holy
up.
shit!
It's
Why can't
fucked
I even
up, but
see
I've-
this list? Can you copy and paste the list? Like, I
It's-
can't even see it.
it's
The
like-
website's
it's-
down.
it's-
The website's down. You've
You
killed the
can try to do
website.
that, I
You've
mean.
killed my fucking.
Copy paste the
ace
list.
website.
Copy paste it.
Copy paste the list.
There's
Yeah, like,
there's like
actually
pictures
basically-
and weird shit. Like, it would never work.
Well,
There's
just try it.
pictures
See what
and
happens.
bio.
Try it and see what
Oh
happens.
my god.
Let's try it and see what happens.
What'd you
There's
say?
pictures and bios. I'll do it for
Doesn't
you.
matter.
Steve. Anything for you, bud.
Thank you. Oh shit.
Wait, what are
Here
you
we go.
doing? Wait, what are you doing?
There we go.
He asked me. He asked me.
He asked you to what? Just like,
He asked me to copy and paste the list, man. That's what he wanted.
oh, okay. I mean, shit, we got the VOD. I've been like scrolling through this. Oh, actually, it's
Man.
not on here.
Shit.
Richard, let's be honest. Richard, look at the first and last people on this list. Tell
All right,
me
we
that's
need.
not
Okay, hold on. I
fucking
need to
accurate,
bring up the
right?
web. It's gonna the FPS is gonna be kind of shitty, guys. But
So what? Hang on.
Bear
So,
with me. Bear with
what
me.
about it? I
Bear
told
with
some
me.
tasteless. Or is
Bear
that
with
is
me.
that? Are you saying like because I'm on the same thing as those now? Like, that's a thing.
No.
What do we?
No.
Oh, have I missed the last thing?
Yeah, I can't even fucking bring myself to do it anymore.
Cody's
man.
just too nice. I mean,
Okay,
he's
where
a
am I
nice
at? Where am I
guy,
at?
that's
I'm
fine.
looking.
I mean,
I'm
no,
looking.
You're not.
He's
Well,
a
you're not
nice
even.
guy.
You're not
He
even on the
doesn't-
list. That's actually how. So you should be.
He's
You
not on the
should be.
list.
You should be feeling
signed-
great that I said you should be.
No, listen. I
between
got.
Micron
I
and
fucking
LS.
I haven't had my headshots done. Do you understand? To hire a photographer to make me look human, like how long it's gonna take to get all of this shit done? To actually,
Oh my
you
God.
know,
You go to so many esports just to go ask anybody. Go ask Helena or anybody to do a freaking headshot for you.
dude, they're gonna need CGI or some shit. So okay. So what am I looking at now? Okay, so I don't even know who some of these people are down at the bottom. That's kind of cool. Okay, is it the very last one? Is that when I'm gonna get the punchline?
What are all
Fuck off.
Okay, anyways, that's the list, guys. And yeah, Richard, anyways.
Well,
Cool.
you know, look,
Cool.
right. I think this could be like, right. Again, you know, why am I doing it? Obviously, I want to, you know, enhance my own fucking profile a little bit, man. I think these guys can definitely do it. I think I want to get back to streaming my own shows. It's been really hard. Like, we had a good thing going with Trash Talk. We had a producer. He got fucking poached, you know? It's like, I want to get back to doing this shit, like, because literally I can't keep doing this for much longer. Certainly not. The sheer volume of work I'm having to do and the sort of attention it's getting. Like, I always feel like, you know, you have no idea how galling it is to have been involved in esports for 10 years and to have people fucking say, oh, there's this cool new guy, you know, he looks really old for some reason, but like, you know, he's this new interviewer that I've discovered or whatever. It's like, holy shit. Like, you know, I've covered like 12 different fucking games. I've been around since forever. So I'm trying to alter that. Like, I just want to get my streaming shit out there and maybe not have to go through the same fucking rigmarole of like having every time I put an article out there, okay, this is what the article is, this is who I am, this is what I do, you know, this is the company I work for, this is what esports heaven are about. It just fucking sucks having to explain all that to an audience that should be, you know, informed